Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So everybody who participated in the FOMC Fed interest rate live stream today saw my thoughts live, and you basically know what my thoughts are. I started to look at the chart again just now. We haven't had too many changes, but still wanted to do another update so that everybody is aware, also everybody who didn't participate in the live stream or watch the recording, about my thoughts about this chart. Because it has become a bit of a mess now with this latest drop, but still nothing too bearish. It's just that this strong move down is a bit, don't want to say concerning, but it rather points towards a little bit more downside, that this correction isn't finished yet. And we saw it live during the stream, and we saw Bitcoin make a wave 5. So that was the idea that I shared with you in the last video. My primary expectation was to push higher here. We did hold that wave 4 support. We did push higher. We reached, I think here, the 18.4k level, basically target, round about the target area. Important was for the wave 5 to go higher than the wave 3, which it did. And also here we had a nice 5-wave move to the upside. And during the live stream, very much in the beginning, we saw that Bitcoin was pushing here, put that wave 5 in. It did hold there, I think, for around 20 minutes. I did measure here the wave 1 high. I looked at it and said, look, we've reached the 1-to-1 ratio. We reached the 1.236 extension. It doesn't need to push any higher. Would be nice to go a little bit higher, maybe to 1.618 extension. It doesn't need to do it. 1-to-1 ratio is fine for a wave 5. And we looked at the indicators as well. We looked at the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, we were massively overbought. And what I made everybody aware of was, even before we had already seen the decision, that we're probably going to see a strong decline, and that a lot of people would be surprised by that. And I showed you the support area for this decline. We looked at the length of the third wave, and I said this could become quite a bit of a dump, possibly down to 17.6k, which nearly happened, right? We saw that dump directly when the interest rates were announced, so we certainly had a bit of a short-term effect here. Nothing that changed really the trend, but we had a short-term effect, came down in the support area. We're currently holding the support area, but that this is just a normal wave 4. I mean, this can happen. But the thing is that it looks to me like at the moment that this was obviously a 5-wave move down, so it was an impulse down. So an impulsive wave structure down would rather suggest that the wave 4 isn't finished yet, that we get something like an ABC correction here. And I did explain in the live stream that creates a problem. If this is a 5-wave move down, a wave A, we're probably going to see the B wave and then a C wave, but to stay in the current pattern structure, the wave C should not go below 17,620. So the problem is that the wave C would then be very short. So normally if you have this as an A wave, you move up in a B, and the C wave should normally go down a bit lower. So maybe the 17.2k level. So that's just a bit of a concern. Obviously, I don't have any structure currently for the B wave, so it's a bit too early. But it's all about the support areas. Does it hold? Does it not hold? In my opinion, at the moment, I mean, the larger pattern is still intact. I think we are going to go higher. It just means that short term we might go a bit lower before we do that to the upside. And the explanation for that is because the wave A down there, or this wave 4, whatever it is, definitely, well, not definitely, but most likely a 5-wave move to the downside, which created a bit of messiness in this chart now, which sometimes happens during these days. That creates now a little bit of a problem. Because also we haven't really seen a super bullish reaction. I mean, we did bounce a little bit to the upside, but we're now hovering just below the 50-day moving average here, that yellow line at 17,830. So I mean, it's good to see that we pushed here to the upside in 5 waves as expected, but now we obviously need to take it level by level, and this is quite a strong decline, stronger than would be ideal for a wave 4. I mean, not necessarily the retracement isn't necessarily too strong, but the impulsiveness how this happened is just a bit concerning. So what does it mean? To keep it very simple, ideally we hold 17,623 or 620, and we go higher from there immediately in the suggested pattern here that probably the wave 4 was already in, or we just see a very, very short wave C, or maybe it even becomes some kind of a weird triangle. That would be the easiest way to do it, and then we could push higher maybe into the 18.8 to 19k region. Or if we now lose that support level, I mean, we can still find support around the $17,200 level. I mean, if this is a diagonal pattern, which it could be, which is a bit more of a like a channel pattern, then that's absolutely possible. Then we might be looking at support at the lower end of the channel. It would not be a disaster. It would not necessarily be bearish. It would just mean we are moving in a diagonal pattern. So this wave 4 could then come down lower, maybe into the region, as I said, around 17.2k, maybe a little bit higher. As long as we're not going below the 16,870 level, which was this wave 2 low, it would then morph from an impulse into a diagonal pattern and would then still move further up. It's only, I think, if we really substantially break out to the downside of this channel, that might be a concern. And if we drop below 16,800, 16,870 pretty much here, this swing low from the 12th of December. That's everything I can tell you at the moment. So we are holding here support at the moment. All eyes need to be on that support level. But as I said, if we drop down lower, it wouldn't really be a disaster. And on the 4-hour chart, I mean, you can see it's not too unlikely we drop a bit lower, because the RSI was brought down on the 4-hour, but not massively. We only dropped a little bit below the overbought range. So a little bit more of downside or correction here would not be unlikely. Just be ready for that. But just because we do that doesn't mean we are suddenly going into a bearish pattern. It just means we're moving from a, let's say, good pattern, an impulse, into a, let's say, less reliable pattern, which is a diagonal, which is also, you have a lot of overlaps. It's a little bit of a less stable pattern, but they do happen, right? They do happen, but it would be an ending diagonal then in this C wave of wave 4. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.